apart from perhaps New Zealand, that I can think of that call their wine sector, we call the agricultural sector, we don't call it the industry. It evokes images of petrol refineries, mining industry, steel industry and so on. Should we really use this word for wine? And is there another word we could use instead, Bruce?
I suppose industry we picked up from the Europeans. You think of industrial wine, I always think of South France. Vast quantities of fairly badly made, dirty, undrinkable bloody rubbish.
Tell us what you really think.
Wine industry, I don't know, we probably came because we're looked after by the Department of Primary Industry. Although looked after there's probably another term too. I don't know, with the wine industry, the wine people, the wine body, the industry probably covers us because we cover such a whole gamut of operation within what we do. We're farmers, we're weather forecasters, we're process operators, we're bottlers and packagers, we're retailers, we're wholesalers, we're exporters. We're one of the rare industries, probably the only word that comes to mind, that does everything right across the board.
Do we produce more industrial wine than any other country, than other countries do?
I find industrial wine, Hugh, a hard term to come to grips with, and I think it's one of those things that you get when you are successful and people throw darts at your back. We make a lot of wine in our irrigated areas that's inexpensive, that's got nice flavour, and it's clean, and it's technically correct, and every time you buy a bottle, it'll pretty much taste the same. Now, if you're the poor unfortunate Pom living in Birmingham, in the middle of winter, and you've lost the cricket again, you get the one bottle of wine you drink every 6 weeks, which is a lot of the people that drink our wine, drink industrial wine, as it's put. You actually want consistency. The reason we're copping criticism more than anything around the world now is that, firstly, it still sells for £3.99, and 15 years ago it was selling for £3.99. So we've had to get a whole lot more efficient at making it. And as much as anything, our currency at the moment has put us in a position where Argentina and Chile are £1 or $1 a bottle cheaper than us. And that's where we've lost our ground. Their wines have got better, ours haven't got any worse. And they've got cheaper.
That's a good point, I think. When Australia was riding high in the export boom, I don't think our wine quality has suffered at all. And in fact, it's probably improved, if anything, in that 15-year snapshot period. So why are we suffering in the minds of some people? And let's bear in mind that our exports have in fact declined a bit too. It's not just the chattering classes who are making a noise about this. Just to finish off this discussion about industry, perhaps we should start referring to it as the wine community, or the wine sector might be more appropriate. Andrew Jefford again asks in this paper whether we shouldn't be doing this, and that a simple word like industry can be terribly catchy. It can evoke, it can transfer imagery of huge refineries full of stainless steel tanks, which aren't necessarily true. Now, Jancis's quote, among a certain school of commentators there has been this negative talk. Should we in fact give a toss about what a certain school of commentators in the UK writes, Mitchell?
I think we should. Again, Australia, we pride ourselves on being responsive and listening to areas where we can improve. And really what has happened to our industry has been what I describe as a perfect storm. We've had some oversupply. There's 20% extra vineyards in the country currently, and more than we need, due to the planting boom with our success with the exports and a lot of tax-driven schemes that encourage excess planting, and probably in regions that are on the edge. The other big thing is, of course, the global financial crisis has hit us in a very interesting way, where our two key export destinations, UK and USA, have probably really been impacted significantly just recently. And associated with that is the foreign exchange and the exchange rates just going through the roof, where the Australian dollar. So where our wines have been great value in these markets and have been building up loyalty, all of a sudden, with the way the global situation is, the value isn't there that they were used to. So hence, the other complexing thing in there is the consolidation with the supermarkets there. They're wanting to, the gatekeepers, make sure that we deliver a certain wine at a certain price with a certain margin from them. So this is where where the wine range can be appear to be boring to some of the consumers at the other end of the world. Where in fact, I believe in this country, with the evolution that's happening, we're actually making far superior wines with our styles and what's coming through. And the wines we're looking at here today exhibit that, where the quality is actually going through the roof. So you've got this double-edged sword being played on with the economies and the gatekeepers probably just pushing forward some of the wines that are of a lesser quality, where it's really the exciting story out of Australia is really the top-notch stuff. And that's why I wrote a letter to Bruce and our other family winemakers. That's why we decided to create Australia's first family of wines, to really talk up the heritage, the tradition and the quality. And really the next job the Australian wine industry has is we've been marketing great value wines very successfully globally. Now we're in the area where we've really got to market ourselves as the best wines for what they are.